Coming to you from Strings and Things Studio in Ventura, California, I'm Katie.
I'm Karin. I'm Ann.
And this is the Strings Unraveled podcast. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's great.
Yeah?
Yep.
Good.
I love this weather as long as I don't have to drive in it.
Yeah, it's a rainy day. It's the first of the many rainy days it seems that we will be getting soon-ish. But yeah, it rained this morning on my way in, and then it stopped when I was here.
It was like legit sunny skies for a while.
Yeah, it was
right?
nice for a little bit. It was like, I guess it's
see
over. But
it's down in the bowels of the building.
well, you want to just jump right into it?
Yeah.
And what are you working on?
Well, I am still working on my Missoni Accomplished. I kept calling it Missoni Accepted.
Okay.
And then I looked
that's
at the
that's a
actual
better name. That's a better name.
Is. But they're Canadian, so
What is it called?
Missoni Accomplished.
Accomplished. Okay,
Yeah.
like mission accomplished.
Yeah, which is a loaded phrase in the US.
I totally get it now.
So either they're being cheeky
Mhm.
at their southern neighbors, or like they're just using a turn of phrase and being cute and don't realize that it's a controversial American phrase.
I did not know that. I don't know about the controversy.
You don't remember George W. Early on in the Iraq conflict, I believe. I don't know if it was part of a movement in Afghanistan or if it was an Iraqi movement. He goes onto an aircraft carrier and a big banner was behind him while he spoke to the public that said "Mission Accomplished," which is out of context. The mission that those soldiers were doing was accomplished, and it was supposedly just referring to that moment.
Not when
It
you
wasn't
broadcast it to all of
Victory
America.
overall!
Yeah.
Yeah, because, we didn't get out of there for a long time. Definitely not in 2003 or whenever that foible happened. I'm moving along, though. It's, I'm into the body, and I just did the second zigzag, which you get 2 zigzags in the body and 3 zigzags on the sleeves.
Nice.
And they're kind of like Charlie Brown zigzag stripes, which, again, still in my head. I think it'd be very cute to do a Charlie Brown sweater with just the body, the body zig.
Yep.
But, yellow's not my color. But
you do a reverse Charlie Brown.
Oh, that would be cute. Also, I saw a Charlie Brown in a red sweater with a zigzag or a red top. I don't remember
seen
the
Charlie Brown wear anything
context
else.
of that.
Yeah.
But I definitely saw it.
Sure, Ann.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. I mean, I could put him in any color I want.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
For most of it, it's a black and white line drawing cartoon.
There you go. Make it in black and white.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I can't have a fully white
Newsprint?
sweater. Silly.
Yeah, I
Again,
guess the yellow would
Oh,
be the
but
white.
like a speckle.
Or
There you go.
gray. Gray and black.
Might as well
I
start
don't know.
there
Yeah,
with
yeah,
gray.
like the silver.
I don't know. Not as good.
Gray's
But
not really my color, but anyway, the thoughts are brewing on it.
I like the hot pink and navy blue version that you're
I'm
making.
happy with that. It's obviously
Much more, Ann.
my first gut go-to. I swatched for Lando cakes.
Oh.
I think I'm happy with it, but I don't have my swatch, so
Oh,
that's
nice.
that. I think it's in the pocket of some pants I wore earlier in the week.
Okay, got it.
Because I didn't have like a ruler handy when I finished the swatch, but I always have a ruler at my desk.
You're like, I'll just put this in my pocket for later.
Yeah, good news. I got the gauge I wanted.
Oh, good.
Just like snacks.
Yeah, right. No. What else am I doing? I'm working on a million cross stitches, but I am ill prepared to talk about them today. So either I will probably still be working on them next month, and I will bring them to show you. Cross stitching takes a lot of time.
It does. It's not fast.
No. So when I was thinking about what am I working on, what have I finished for today, I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of a light month too, but some months are like that. January's busy.
Yes, it is, with lots of things.
Yeah.
I try to remember this month that I do something creative every day.
Yeah.
And try to like
Remember that.
remember that and pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Mindful creativity.
Yeah. It's not so much that I need the reminder to do it, but I want to acknowledge my brain that I did it.
Right.
You know?
It's default to do it
Yeah.
mostly, but
And
it's just a reminder that like, oh,
Give
I did
myself
do something.
credit for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I understand.
Like
that.
intentional credit, I suppose.
Yeah. Even if you just, crocheted 3 stitches on your
Yeah.
whatever, or
Give yourself
it around.
intentional credit.
yeah.
Trying to think. I think those are really the things I picked up. Is I've been pretty devoted to the sweater. I swatched for Lando Cakes,
Nice.
and I have been working on cross stitches. The cross stitch I'm really excited about is a little plastic canvas Christmas village that I
sounds very
started
fun.
2 years ago. Lost some magazines, but thankfully the library has the magazine.
Oh, you gotta love the
Oh, that's
library.
cool.
Yeah, so,
Is it like a 3D? Or is
yeah,
it
it's
okay.
3D.
That's fun.
So it's plastic canvas, but it is cross stitching.
Yeah.
With floss. So
That sounds very
it's
fun.
very fun.
I like that.
It's amazing how slowly it goes.
I was gonna say that seems like a sort of project I would be like very excited to start, and then I would never finish it. So I'm not putting that on you, but I'm just saying that's how it would go for me.
Well, I mean, it's already been started since 2001.
Okay.
Yeah, no, 2001. I think it. But
It
it's
still counts as a slow COVID project.
right. It's a British.
2001?
Oh, sorry.
No.
2021.
Oh, 2021. I meant to
Okay.
say 2021.
I thought this was a
See?
23-year-old project.
Thank you for hearing what
Somehow,
I meant to say.
our minds
But
are
the
really
comedy-
on lately.
I was like, sure, that seems
The
like
comedy of what I actually said is pretty good too.
something. Oh,
No,
man.
I think I have some stuff I started for Alexander that long ago, but those things are long lost and gone.
Yes.
No,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. So the sweater, my little Christmas village, projects unnamed.
Yeah.
And watching Lando Cakes.
Nice. I didn't know you were going to do Lando Cakes too.
Well, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not doing the gauge of the pattern because I'm not the teacher.
There you go. Yeah, you don't have to follow
Nope.
it to a T.
It's 28 stitches to 4 inches,
Yes,
which I
it
think
is.
will be very fun. And we know that our knitters are up to it because they're working on Karen's sweater that's that gauge.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, man.
Once you've done a La Prairie, you feel like you can do anything.
Right on, and you can do anything. I'm going for 24, which is my preferred.
I would
Weight
love
and
to be able to
fingering
join
weight.
you in that.
You could. Nobody.
And I
none of
bet,
your students
I
are gonna
bet
measure
no
your
bobbles.
Hmm?
Right?
Are any of your students going to measure your gauge?
No, I'm sure they won't, but
So the end. That's what I'm working on. Who wants to go next?
Well, I'll jump in because I'll talk about Land of Cakes.
I
What a
love the color.
What a segue.
So my Land of Cakes is something I have to make myself work on. I measured. My goal is to have the body finished up to the underarm by the time our first class starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the math to figure out what that means. 3 rows a day, which is not much at all. Except that I skipped about 5 or 6 days because I just forgot. I've been doing other things, I guess. So I'm trying to play catch up.
When I make a goal like that, my brain clicks it as done.
Yeah,
Like-
I know. I'm like,
like,
3
okay.
rows, easy. I'll catch up tomorrow
I'm
if I
done.
need to. No. So
Sorry, math
I
done,
have
project done. Done.
Made a plan. Done.
Yeah. I have the corrugated ribbing done.
Love
Just cruising along in my boring chocolate brown stockinette stitch.
But it's a
It has
really
a
pretty
heather.
brown.
Yes, it is a good brown. It's got a lot of depth to it. So that's.
I love your palette.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I've got
Autumnal.
brown, sort of like a.
Must-
I think this one's called paprika. This one's called. Can't remember. It's like a brick red and then like a mustardy
Like a marigold.
yellow and a. This color I think is called oyster, like a bone
Mhm.
kind of color.
Is this nitpicks?
The body is Queensland Tenderfoot.
Mm-hmm.
The colors are Knitpicks palette.
Paprika is
I
a perfect
recognize
name.
the oyster name.
Yeah. It's a good. I like my sort of autumnal color
Mhm.
story that I got going on. One of our wonderful customers gifted us with an incredible Christmas present each of a
Ooh, that's
big
perfect.
box of palette
Yeah.
to play with.
Yeah.
So I just dug through there to pick my palette, basically. I had the brown and I picked out 4 other colors. I had to order more of it from Knitpicks to fill it out. But yeah, it's cruising right along. It's real exciting right now.
That's what I was going to do,
Mhm.
but I didn't like any of the colors together.
You couldn't find a...
Because the one thing I pulled out of the stash exchange that I was going to limit myself to was a white with like neon speckles all over it,
Mhm.
and I kind of wanted that to be the basis of how I
That would be
picked.
fun.
And I didn't like what I put together, and I kept poking and pulling at it, and then poking and pulling at what was in the stash.
Yeah.
And I pulled it all from the stash.
Well, I'm excited to see it.
Awesome.
Yeah. By stash, I mean stash swap.
Yeah, we just did our big stash swap event where people come and drop off unwanted yarn or whatever from their stash, and then people are welcome to come and take from it. And the good news is, because we make the rules, we get first pick, so
Yep.
we get to find good stuff.
We're pretty like
Yes, I'm not taking all the good stuff.
Yeah.
We leave
Yeah.
most of the good stuff for everybody else,
we want
and it's all
people
good
to
stuff.
come.
But yes,
Yeah, and
we might
good
pick
stuff.
out a couple things here or
Just
there
not
that really
choice
inspire
stuff.
us.
I'd like to say that I don't pick something without an intention, but my office would say otherwise. I didn't take too much.
And we're very grateful to you if you are listening and you donated, and we're very grateful to you if you're listening and you took.
Yes, we
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So that is my Lando cakes. It's not that exciting right now, but
It'll get fun again.
it'll get fun.
Did you make your bag?
I did. I'm going to talk about it later.
Okay.
So that is project number 1. Project number 2 I'm working on is a crochet toy, which I have not gotten very far on, but I have a friend whose birthday is coming up, and he really likes crows.
Oh.
And this is going to be a terrible picture, so let me pull it up on my phone. I found this pattern on Instagram for this wizard crow, and he has a little wizard hat, and he's very cute. Where's my picture? Hold please. There he is. So this is the picture from the pattern.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's very cute.
Oh, he's adorable.
I was
love
gonna
his little,
Oh, go ahead.
his little medallion and hat and
Yep. He's good.
I was going to say while you're looking for the picture that ever since we read The Witches of New York and met
Mhm.
Perdu,
Mhm.
I have also been in love with crows and
Yes.
ravens. And that's what Perdu would wear.
Yeah, I know. He's so
to-
cute. He's got a little hat, and he's got a little cape. I have
Oh, he'd wear it to the solstice.
I have only the hat done.
Oh, it's so cute.
I know, it's so cute. I finished it, and I showed James. I was like, look at this tiny little hat.
But I
And
love
I
it.
put
The,
it
the
on-
top has little twisted shapes.
Yeah, it's a
too,
little,
and-
like, bumpy. I have a stuffed bear that hangs out on a shelf in one of our rooms, and I put it on him, which fits perfectly. And I was like, well, now I gotta make wizard hats for all of my things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
I
But
was hoping you would put it on your cat. That's how
I
that sentence
asked
was
James,
going
I said,
to go.
do you think April would let me put this on her? And he said, maybe, but she might claw it. And I was like, okay, no.
Yeah, you don't
Also,
need-
it's going to our friend who's allergic to cats.
Oh,
I mean, it'll have cat hair baked into it
Yeah.
already, but
yeah.
so there's my tiny little
I
wizard
love
hat.
the stars all over it.
I know, isn't it cute? I think I started the cape, but I am this far on his cape, which makes me think of like Doctor Strange. It's got like this little like
Yes,
pointy purple
yeah.
collar. So my little wizard crow, I'm working on him. I'm doing the dessert of the month cross stitch club
I heard you
with Super
finished.
Buzzy. Here's my January.
Oh, sweet bumper.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Oh.
My little January vanilla cupcake. And got me a very nice present of a what do you call it? A cover for your
Or
frame?
I heard somebody call it a grunge guard.
Grunge guard, but I like
Yeah.
bumper better. I
Yeah.
like what you called it.
I'm using a snap frame, which isn't, my favorite or not my favorite. It's fine. But I was worried about all my extra fabric folded up on the other side getting dirty, so Anne gave me a wonderful gift of a, what is it, steering wheel cover.
from the Dollar
You know what?
Dollar
It's-
Tree.
It's
It
absolutely
totally
perfect.
works.
But I don't
Yeah.
think it would fit on a steering wheel. It seems so
I know, I
small.
was expecting it to be loose. It's very tight
It's
on here.
perfect.
Yeah. So if you have a, what is this, probably like 8 or 9
by
inch
Yeah.
Probably 8 by
frame,
8.
it's hey, go get a steering wheel cover
Dollar
from the
Tree.
Dollar Tree. It's
Um,
perfect.
I've made a decision about that. If you're interested,
About
because
what?
we were talking about the philosophical decision of what kind of frame you like a little bit last time. I definitely like the round with the little spring hinge,
The little pinch one. Yeah.
because it gets taut with no effort.
I know.
If you
They
put
are
it
real
in on a
nice.
flat surface. I like the snap. I'll probably never go back to the conventional
Twisties.
wooden-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never coming
Screw
back.
one.
Wait, so what kind are you talking about? Because I only know the round with the screw, and every time I try to get it taut, it always gets twisted, and then my stitches don't come out straight.
The middle frame
It gets
it's
distorted.
like your plastic frame, right? And then the
Uh-huh.
metal ring goes on the inside. But instead of opening with like a screw, it's got two little handles that you can pinch, and it bends the little
Here we
metal part smaller, and then it pops back into shape when you put it in the plastic frame.
That's
They're pretty
brilliant.
great.
That is
They're
really
very
brilliant.
cool.
I
That's
only have
nice.
one, and it's one of those things. It's like, why don't I just go on Amazon and buy another one? But I have this thing that I went on Amazon and bought already, so I should use that one.
Like
but-
I like the snap frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. But because I like that the snap frame gives you like a nice, healthy amount of stitching area.
a big square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that is in its favor. But I really like how tight these this Etsy seller is calling them nudge. I thought it said nudge, which actually made a little more sense
Oh.
to me. Metal spring tension ring.
There you go.
Spring tension ring.
Metal spring tension ring.
I like those best. So now you all know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to know. I am also working on excuse me. I have a baby coming in my family, so I wanted to make a baby something. So I have
When you're done, I remembered something I'm working on.
Okay.
Carry on.
I had yarn in my stash, and I'm making compass by Tin Can Knits, which has like a little geometric kind of
Mm,
lacy
That's
looking
pretty.
yoke, but it's in color work, but it's kind of got that like lace work look to it. And I'm making the baby size, obviously, because Tin Can Knits, I think it's sized 0 to 6 months up to like a men's 4X or something.
You make it for everyone.
Yeah. So I'm using where's my bag?
The color work reminds me a little bit of was it RBG lace?
Oh
Yeah.
Mhm. Only bigger.
Yarnalia Marvel, which I bought a bunch of this for a different project and have sort of taken it apart and used it for other things. But it's this is a great yarn. This is what I use to make those dice hats.
Mm-hmm.
It's a superwash acrylic and nylon, and it's
Ooh.
a sport weight. It was like, I look it up, it was like $4 a ball or something.
That's better
awesome.
than our favorite.
And
yarn.
it's very soft. Like, it's a good yarn.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's only a 50-gram ball, but it's 164 yards. But yeah, I'm using like a nice bright pink and a cute little sky blue. And I might make a second one in the reverse colors. But I'll get through one
Is that
first.
to put it in reserve, or they're possibly twins?
No, not twins, but there might be somebody else that I need to make a present for. But yeah, I started this today. I should be done with the color work soon. I'm making like a 12-month size, I think. 6 to 12 months is the size I'm making.
Did you know that Tin Can Knits has an app?
I don't know if I knew that or not. What does it do?
I couldn't tell what it does with their purchase, like the patterns you purchase from them,
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't poking around at that. I
Uh-huh.
downloaded it. Where did it go?
I feel like I do remember them seeing this and thinking like I didn't know
I
what
think I put
to
it
do
on
with
my. I put it on my tablet.
Okay.
It is like I'm gonna make a flax,
Uh-huh.
and it will only display your size.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
Oh, I'm gonna make harvest. Actually, that's the next thing I'm gonna. I also have a flax going.
I made a harvest a long time ago.
Did you like it? Because I'm not sure about how it fits on the shoulders.
No, I really liked it.
Okay.
I made it like probably at least 10 years ago.
It's an old pattern.
Yeah.
It's like we have Tin Can Knits on the brain because I just this week looked up one of my patterns for Bumble.
Oh. They have all their free patterns preloaded into the app, and then it can communicate with your Ravelry library.
Mm.
But it wasn't. It feels like it's maybe still in development. But the cool thing was that it it'll only show you your size instructions for the pattern you're working on.
That's awesome.
That
I
is
should look
really
that up
handy.
again.
Yeah, and it was a free app. It was just one of those like I always find them such an accommodating yarn company.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
very
they're great.
conscientious of
Yeah.
the knitter's experience or the
Mhm.
crafter's experience.
Also very conscientious of the teacher's experience because I've
Yes.
only ever had great
Oh yeah,
communication with them.
One time, yeah,
They sent me like all their patterns
yes,
once.
when we were teaching a bunch of things from their book. They like sent us their book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they're great.
lovely.
Yeah, I always recommend their patterns. I
Yes.
think they are extremely well written and well thought out, and obviously very size inclusive.
But I've been itching to tell you guys about the app.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did. That is all I am working on right now. Karen, what are you working on?
The restraint at this table.
I know it's. I think it's going to be a light month, at least for me.
I have a few things, but here's the thing. I'm working a full-time job for the first time in 30 years.
Wow.
And the last time I worked, I did not know how to knit yet.
That's what I kept saying
Oh
to you
my
when you were showing off
God.
your project.
I'm like, yeah, I've now stopped. The first week, I'm like, I'm going to knit on my lunch. I'm going to knit on my break. I got 15 minutes here. I got a half hour there.
Yeah.
No.
Your brain is dead.
No. Because part of the time is going all the way across to the other side of the building where the bathrooms are. And because I don't have...
Aren't you allowed to take a bathroom break anytime you want?
We
I believe
can't-
that is state law.
We can. But sometimes...
Trust you me, my boss pays me for every body break.
And I do. But I try to do some of it on my break.
No.
But even so, on the times that I didn't, and I said, okay, I'm going to go back and then I'm going to go to the bathroom. It's like, yeah, I didn't, this week I just stopped even bringing, projects because I'm like, I'm going to bring my book and I'll read a few pages of my book. I can feel like I can make progress on that I can handle.
Some days I acknowledge that I'm only going to have the energy to read at lunch.
Yeah.
The time I have in the evenings. So it's interesting. So like, I'm not on my phone until like at the end of the day. Like I used to like take little phone breaks and play little app games, and I don't do that. But now I'm like, I haven't had knitting in my hands. The phone is no longer as important. So,
It's sort of like eating though. Like knitting has never stopped my nighttime snacking. Knitting has never stopped my
scrolling.
phone scrolling.
No,
it does.
I wish it would.
It has affected my. Well, I don't scroll as much because, yeah. Anyway, my brain.
Well, so you are noticing it.
I'm noticing a difference. I'm not necessarily happy about not being on it because I was making progress on my games, but it's not important. It's just anyway. So what have I done? I am only like 10 rows away from finishing the last chart of Artus. Okay, so I am really, really surprised. There was all these colors were very earthy toned and played well together, and then I had this one skein of pastel-y pink and blue, and I'm like, how is this going to work out? I'm not sure what this is doing, but it works out perfectly because that pastel-y color starts with more of pastel and gray tones, and it's sitting right next to a gray. And then it's a self-stripy sort of blending, and it blends into a cream and a peach, or pink, right when I change to another cream olive peach blend.
Yeah.
It's like they knew what they were doing when they put this color
Trust
in the mix.
exercise.
When you buy a kit, you really are. I mean, you can choose from a couple different color palettes, but you're still trusting that picture that you see is really going to work out. Because even when I looked at the picture before I ordered, I'm like, well, I'm not crazy about that one, but I like everything else a lot. It has the other colors were the ones that I wanted, so I'm very pleased. I like the big geometric part of it because the mosaic feels. When I look at it, it looks like it's raised a little bit, but I know that it's really loose in the back, so there's plenty of space for that to lay flat in the blocking. Sometimes things are raised and they're just tight. This is not that situation. It's just it is kind of almost meditative to like knit 3, slip 3, knit 7, slip 5. I like it.
Has a rhythm.
So that is Artus. I'm just going to stop saying that I'm not going to start new projects until I
Yeah,
finish
why would
something.
you say that?
I don't know, because I try to police myself, but as soon as I do that, I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah, monster.
Me. So I am making a bag, and I really like this. It's called the Libra bag by Crochet Highway, and I really like how the bottom is. So you're starting at the bottom and going and doing your increases in a ring, but this is called the waistcoat stitch, and if you look at it, it looks like knitting, but the texture is really sturdy, but and thicker, so it's not like anything's going to come through.
I've done that stitch before, and I found it so obnoxious to do, but like because you have to like pierce the inside of the stitch. It's just like whenever I'm doing something different in crochet that slows me down a little bit, I'm like, crochet's supposed to be fast. Why is this taking so long? But it looks awesome.
She makes a point that says keep it loose. If you keep it loose, and sometimes I had to slow, because I just want to fast. But when I keep it loose, I can go fast.
Yeah.
If I go too fast, then I've made my stitches too small. Also, the type of hook you have makes a huge difference. Like, the size I have, the top of the crochet head is kind of blunt. And trying to get a blunt thing into a tight thing is just not fun. But if the few times, now that I'm into a different size, I did the bottom in a smaller size, now I'm in a bigger size hook. That has a slightly different stitch. But I'm in the hook, the bigger size. I don't need the blunt. I don't need the pointy head, but that's the one I got. So this is fun, and I actually ordered the colors that the bag comes. The pattern is because they're green and blue and teal. I mean, that's my bag.
They look great together.
Yeah.
Can I see the picture?
Yeah.
What yarn is it?
This is Sheep G's.
Oh, nice.
Someone donated a bunch, but not in the colors I needed.
Of course not.
But that's
there
okay,
was a
I
bunch of that. That's right. Yeah.
Katona, Sheep G's, Katona, and maybe it's pronounced something different, but that's what it looks like to my uneducated brain.
Oh, there was like all warm pinks and oranges.
Yeah. And that would be great. Yeah. But these are the colors I've got.
Nice.
One of the things that I like that I've made me avoid crocheted or knit handles before, or straps, is that they stretch and they stretch and they stretch. But this one has a different stitch as well, but it has, afterwards you're going to put clear fishing line through it.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that's going to support it and keep it from stretching.
Cool.
Also, it's got bag hardware, and I'm kind of a sucker for bag hardware. It's like the jewelry of your, I don't wear regular jewelry much, but my bags, they have jewelry. So that's what that is. That's the Libra bag.
It's been moving quite along.
It was until I stopped a week ago. I haven't touched it since last week, but I've been focusing on trying to on finishing something that I'll talk about later, and trying to keep up with my my temperature blanket. Right? So we had our first class of that last Sunday. Normally it's on Saturday, but I know it was displaced just for the one month, so that we could bring you the stash swap. So pardon the zipper. So when you're dealing with a bag with lots and lots of balls of yarn, and you think, I just need to get to something at the bottom, and you're fishing around because you think you're going to feel that thing, and it's down there at the bottom, whatever that thing is, but all you feel is yarn and yarn and yarn. And the more you move things around, the more the yarn you already tried to shove out of the way slips back in. So I dumped the whole thing on the table. And then, of course, I realized all the balls that I had started have loose strings that have now tried to marry each other.
Oh, no.
So I did take a few minutes to grab whatever Ziplocs I had and try to organize my colors so I could get to them. But, I've been working on the knit one. It goes a lot slower than the crochet, because in my brain I'm like, I can catch up on the crochet quick because it's just one. But I like it's 4 rows instead of 1, because it's showing the high and the low. And I get into a section where the high is in the same range all the time, but the low changes. So it's like, okay, because I've got 2 factors, there's always the possibility that things are going to be just a little, slightly different. So, oh man, it's stitches came off my needles.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. This is I put it as what happens when you shove things in your bag. So I will get to that later. I'm just gonna pick up what I can, slide it. I have the stoppers on there too.
I say there's stoppers, like a million stoppers everywhere.
I know.
There's cute ones. People are obviously only buying cute ones because a lot of people donated their
They're boring ones.
classic cone-shaped one.
They're like, no, I want the kitty cats and the reindeer and the snowman.
Have you guys capped and uncapped anybody's needles with the gingerbread men on it?
Have you what?
Capped and uncapped anybody's needles with the gingerbread men on it?
Yeah.
You just stick it right up there.
It's
And
kind
I
of
don't
fun.
think turning it around for the head to be the thing that you poke is going to be
I
any
kind of
less,
feel that
like,
way with that black cat that I have too. It's the same thing.
right up there.
I'm like, sorry, kitty cat. Shove this size 2 needle up your butt.
Right on, right on. Well, those are lovely things. Is that everything?
That's everything I'm actually working on.
We don't care. No. How much clean underwear do you have? We don't care. We don't care what else is in your unfinished file.
No, there's stuff in my head that I want to get to. I know I've got stash yarn probably enough in the worsted weight size to make a bumble with 2 different colors.
Remind me what the bumble is?
So a bumble's the tin can knits that's like half brioche with raglan, and it has a slip stitch at the raglan, so you get this this diagonal stripe of the opposite color.
And looks lost.
Well, I'm looking for my phone so I can look at it while you describe it.
Yep. And it comes, of course, in all these sizes.
Yes.
I think the sample that I did was like the child size because I need to get it done quick, and it really did. Because
That's the beauty of a tin can knits pattern.
Well, yeah, because I think it's like a DK weight yarn, but you're doing it on a big needle, so it doesn't go tight. It keeps its shape.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, part of me is like, I have to stop myself from thinking about it because I honestly don't want to start it until well, I want to finish something. I'm so close to finishing this.
Yeah.
The Artus. And I know if I keep getting into startitis, then I'm going to feel overwhelmed. At some point, I want to be able to enjoy it. So
yeah,
I am looking forward to looking for the yarn in my stash and putting it together in a packet, and so that it'll be ready for me when I'm ready to make it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I remembered that I'm working on is one of my regular sewing students is working on a charm quilt. With 5x5 squares, and I was feeling like 0 motivation, but this is this time that I can sew alongside my students, so I dug in to some unfinished sewing projects and remembered that I had put together, alternating with a solid, a bunch of K-facet.
Is this the red quilt?
Yeah. And it's turning out really cute.
Nice. Is it for you?
No, I think I'm going to give it to Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 6'2", so I think I need to put some sashing on it.
Yeah. James always complains that none of the quilts I make are long enough.
Yeah.
It's like they might be, plenty wide, but he always wants them longer. So
I've always been a fan of an oblong, rectangular, snuggle kind of quilt. So it's most likely for him.
Yeah,
but his girlfriend got really excited about it on Instagram, so I don't know. I really like her. And a lot of things, but I also don't want to freak her out.
That's true. That's the thing about a square one is if it's not long enough, I just turn it on the diagonal.
True.
But then part of the very top of me and the very bottom of me has very little space of blanket.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the extra just lays off the sides, not being used properly. So there you go. Oblong.
At least for lap size, sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Anne, what'd you finish?
What have I finished? I finished the skirt I'm wearing.
I saw it when you came in. Very cute.
Ooh, it looks soft.
Like some velvety, some shiny, some lacy. Very pretty.
It's a tiered skirt with a Panay velvet as the top tier, a Casa crepe satin as the next tier in like a wine color, and then the lace is Valentine's decorations. It's meant to be a table runner.
Oh my gosh.
But I was like, that's 13-inch wide lace. I'm gonna put that on a skirt.
That's very Maria,
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music of You.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Using the decor as a
Yes.
It's also
garments.
so much more economical.
Yeah. Well,
Because
it
if you
costs-
try to buy lace that wide in a fabric store, it would be expensive.
Forget about it. Yeah.
Forget about it.
It was already 40% off of $12, so $7.20.
yeah,
for
something like that.
6 yards, I think.
That's
Dang.
13
amazing.
inches wide.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's
Cute.
my new skirt. I last weekend while we were minding the stash sale saw somebody's reel where they made a crocheted garland of hearts. So I
Mhm.
found something quickly in the stash exchange.
I saw that.
Cute. I feel like I'm going to make a million more and send them as Valentine's.
Aw.
But we'll see.
That's
it's
cute.
already the second. Or no, I mean it's the first. I wrote a check for the second at work, so in my brain it's already
it's
the
February
second.
1st. When you're listening to this in the future, it's February 7th? Something like that?
Yeah.
Or whenever.
Six.
Time warp to the future.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even
Well,
know what
I
day
don't
it
know
is.
when you're going to tune in. Why are we trying to guess that? The girl who did this, she also, I think, is behind the garland I saw people making that was a puff, a thick
the popcorn?
the popcorn with the
Mhm.
red bead.
So cute.
Her screen name is Delia Creates on Instagram. So at Delia Creates.
Cute.
Her pattern's wrong, but anyway.
I saw that in your caption of that reel.
Maybe why I didn't get any likes from her, I don't know. But it is. The chain count should be 4, not 5. Because I was like, I'll make 29 hearts for the leap year.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 35 hearts.
Mm.
And I looked at the pattern several times, and you only use up 4 chains at a time. But anyways, so I finished that. I finished my skirt. I finished the garland.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
That's it.
I understand.
Oh, no, I finished my January hat for
yeah.
the year of bulky hats.
Mhm. Nice.
Which was very fun.
Cute.
It's a delicious hunter green with a slip stitch pattern.
I love the texture. It's so squishy.
Yeah, it's like a slip stitch and a micro cable.
Mm.
So that's what makes it swirl around.
Yeah. It's cute.
Another Smartie from Kelborn Woolen.
Nice.
What'd you finish, Katie?
I made another pattern from. Oh,
Sorry.
nope. Go ahead.
I finished something very important.
Okay.
Karin helped me with this.
I did?
My daughter is redoing her bedroom.
Oh,
And she wanted a beanbag chair because we were at a thrift store and she saw this huge saucer shaped beanbag chair. And she threw herself down on it. She's like, I love this. I have to have it. It was $70. And I was like, in my head, no, used stuffed furniture is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But to her, I said, if you get, because it was disarray. The 2 kids stopped sharing a room and they're each in their own rooms. And it's just the chaos of all their stuff being split. If you clean your room and we come back and it's still here, you can have it.
Gotcha.
Because it's not even going to be an issue.
Gotcha.
She diligently cleans her room all week.
Aw.
And Saturday morning, the following weekend, she's like, it's clean. I'm like, it is clean.
Uh-oh.
So you and your dad can go and see if it's still there. Because I was coming over here to work. And Kevin comes out and he's like, you want to buy a used beanbag? That's disgusting. He's like, you don't know where that's been. You don't know what people have done. To which he follows it up with, some kid could have put their old chicken nuggets in there.
That's not where my brain went, Kevin.
I know.
Okay.
It's also probably not where his brain went.
No.
But
Very kid friendly though.
yes. And so it was fun to watch her face change and realize how disgusting
You're
the
like,
idea
you're right.
of
There could be old chicken
stuff
nuggets in there.
used furniture.
That's
So-
exactly
Oh my
what-
God.
She realized it was gross, but she wasn't fully off the idea. So we sent them to the couch potato first because we don't know what beanbags cost, right?
No idea.
So
Literally no clue.
right. So here's your education. So they went to the couch potato to see what a new beanbag costs. You can get new beanbags there for $70, but they're the teeniest, tiniest child one.
Sure.
And the size she wanted was actually I'm going to say only $300.
Woof.
So more than her beanbag budget. So then they proceed on to the thrift store downtown that it was at, and it is, of course, thankfully gone. So later, so now she's like, well, if I can find a beanbag solution for $70, can I still have this? I was like, sure. Go ahead.
She is your child. Why are you not thinking about these things through?
It's fine. No, it's fine. So actually, Kevin gets talking to me, and he's like, don't you think you could make something like that? Because the couch potato will make you a custom
the
beanbag.
dilemma of being a creator.
Yeah, so I got thinking about it, because the one she wanted was just a saucer shape. So
Yeah.
it's a cylinder. So it's a big circle, side, and bottom circle. So I got thinking about it, and then I started Googling the stuffing, which is the stuffing that Karin used for her craft pillows. So you got me started with my first 5 pounds. 45 pounds.
Oh,
No,
God.
I'm sorry.
No.
40 pounds. Because we bought 15 more pounds, and that was okay. It only made it about halfway.
Oh, God.
So then we bought
It's
another
crazy
20.
how much those things suck up.
Yeah. Well, it was amazing how it sent. Like a box that is maybe 10
Isn't that
by 15.
isn't it amazing? You think, wait, they didn't send me what they couldn't possibly.
Well, you'd
send
already
me.
warned me, so I didn't get that feeling.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But every 20 pounds becomes 4 cubic feet, it said. And Bella and I did the math, and I was like, it looks like we're going to need like 40 pounds. But we'll start with 15 more for 20. And the math did not lie. Because it's a simple cylinder. And if you don't remember how to find the volume of a cylinder, because I Googled the area first, the volume of a cylinder, trust me, Google has the formula for you, and you
know
just
what?
plug in the numbers.
It's funny you say that, because we were sitting around the dining room table not a week ago trying to calculate in our heads the volume of a cylinder for something James was talking about for work, and my dad was like, it's pi times this, and I'm like, no, it's not, it's this times this, and then what's that number, and what's X, and it was like, we have Google at our disposal.
Right.
We were both kind of right, but
it's an insane formula, which is why I realized I did not memorize it, because I have a lot of those weird formulas in my head.
your
for
Pythagorean theorems and your whatever.
I can find you the circumference of a circle on my head. Yeah. That's no big deal. But not the volume of a cylinder.
So did it land in the budget?
Not at all.
Yeah, I was gonna guess.
I was actually pleased that we got close to the budget. So we went to Joann's, and we got, she picked out 3 different fleeces. One for the big circle on the top, one for the side, and then like a solid for the bottom that coordinated. Very cute. It's like a celestial purple and gold, and then a peach with different constellations all over. It's very cute. So that was just under 40, I think. And because fleece was on an okay sale.
Yeah.
And then first bag of stuffing was 20. Then the remaining increments of stuffing got us up to, I think, $150 for our total. So
half the cost of a new one and custom for what you want.
But if you're listening to this, remember that I said it was only $300 at Couch Potato.
Yeah.
That's a very good deal now that I know the cost
of what it takes to make one.
It. I was excited because I already had the zipper material, though. I had bought zipper tape for Kevin's bag from months ago.
So we know what the zipper was for.
So you have to be able to open and close the thing to stuff it. So I... just like all furniture has zippers.
See, I tried to stuff with just hand stitching the thing.
Oh, yeah, you might have wanted zippers, Karin.
But also for a beanbag you're going to sit on,
yours,
you might want to refresh it to be able to access the inside.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Well, I wasn't sewing this beanbag clothes. That was for sure.
Yeah.
So like a couch cushion, I put a zipper in the side. Okay. That was a sincere question of why I put a zipper.
And your thing was a lot bigger than what I made. So you definitely need a zipper for refreshing for all kinds of reasons.
So I didn't hand sew anything on it. It was very quick to make.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, I don't know, I think I cut it out on the night we recorded the book club, and I didn't have the zing to set up my sewing machine. So Saturday I sewed it.
Nice.
It's so stupid easy.
I had the conundrum of like the is it cheaper to make thing, right?
Yeah.
which in your case it turned out yes and no.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's
only gonna smell like my dog.
Yeah, that's fine. I was talking to James about we had these like old broken blinds in one of our rooms that we both hated. You like couldn't open them without fear of them falling, and the strings were broken. They were just needed to be replaced. And I was like, I hate blinds too.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's get curtains. And I had a gift card from Target for Christmas, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll use that Target gift card. We'll pick out some curtains. I'll hang them up. And my dad goes, wow, must be nice if you knew somebody who knew how to sew. And I was like, boy, how wrong you are.
Right.
I was like, these curtains cost me $8 a panel at Target.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't buy the fabric for twice that much
Yeah.
for
Well,
each piece.
Yeah. No, not at all. That's what. Yeah, that's a good thing you bring up, because that's the next project. Is Marabella wants new curtains,
Mm-hmm.
and part of my brain is like,
How
just
does she feel
go
about
to the
ruffles
store.
at the bottom of the curtain?
I don't think she's really a ruffle person right
Okay.
now. It could change.
Okay.
Why do you ask? Now I'm off topic.
I don't know.
Do you have ruffles on your?
No.
Okay.
We were
Do
talking.
you have some ruffles hanging around?
We were talking about curtains, and James's mother not liked to think. She was a very good interior decorator, but she had a very specific style. And so when we were talking about curtains, James is like, well, they don't have like a ruffle at the top or like a valance or anything. And I was like, huh?
Because it's not 1990
I was like,
anymore.
why would I want a ruffle? And he was like, oh, I don't know, because it looks fancy. And I was like, we're gonna buy plain,
just
like with
panels.
a ring, just panels, a plain black
like
curtain
pleats.
rod,
I
easy.
like flat pleats.
Yeah,
Those are nice. Well, I was thinking about that with Bella's room, because it's like that excitement of planning your own room, and I was immediately 12 years old myself,
Yeah.
which puts you in 1993,
yeah.
which a valance and ruffles would be right on it. Yeah. So maybe you were also in 1993 right now too.
So- We do have blinds, but they're just so boring if you only had blinds. So on some of the windows, I did that thing where you take like a piece of a board and you cover it with staple fabric over it,
Yeah.
and then I have like box pleats that go down.
Oh, that sounds nice.
But where the inside of the pleat is a contrast fabric,
Cute.
and after 16 years, they still look nice.
Nice.
Well,
I've washed them once.
classic treatments look nice. Like
Yeah.
Mike has a bunch of gorgeous treatments throughout the funeral home, and those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Not something I'm going to care for.
No.
But you're right. Like, I ended up buying Dante's Halloween costume as, I think they were meant to be shower curtains, but like the fabric outside shower curtain.
Uh-huh.
The
Not
edible
plastic
waffle.
liners?
No, not plastic liners. I should dress him in plastic liners some days.
I don't know if you want to dress a teenage boy in plastic
Oh.
clothing.
I don't have to be with him
Okay.
most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he would just
Oh,
not
the
say he
sweat
was
factor.
not uncomfortable to spite me further.
Sweat factor would be so gnarly. You were saying
Waffle. It was a waffle weave fabric.
Uh-huh.
Because Emperor Palpatine's robes are made out of waffle weave. If
Oh, I didn't.
never,
I
did
never
not
knew.
looked at that. Dante
How
was
can
a
you tell
little
that?
annoyed. We did a lot of research.
You could deep dive
Yeah.
a lot into.
So stills
that
from the
kind of thing.
movie. You can see pictures of it on display in different places.
I guess I was so fascinated by how horrid he looked that I
Yes.
didn't even look at his fabric.
The fabrics
Now I
from
have to.
the original movies are nothing special.
No. the jacket Luke is wearing at the end of the first movie is a motorcycle jacket that's spray painted white. And you look at it, you're
It
like,
looks like
mhm.
It looks like someone trying to get their taekwondo.
Yeah, it's a spray painted jacket. So yeah, don't look too close. Also, the guy carrying the salad spinner, no, the ice cream maker. I think it's an ice cream
Wait,
maker.
wait, where?
I think it's in the third movie in Cloud City, and they're like evacuating or whatever,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you'll see like a random man running by carrying like a thing. It's a full on. It's just an ice cream maker. I'll pull up a picture
Oh
of it while you
my
guys are
gosh.
talking, but it's like, oh no, that's an ice cream maker.
Oh,
Okay,
That's
thank you very much
wonderful.
for my next deep dive. Rabbit trail.
Dante was a little annoyed because the fabric I chose was kind of like a wider waffle weave. And he's like, that's not the same grain as in the pictures we were looking at. I'm like, it was half the price
What do you
of
want from
any
me?
yardage that I could find. The very best thing I found in Home Deck
Yeah, it's just an ice cream maker. It looks futuristic.
He's booking it too.
Yep, just
Like,
running as
full
fast
run.
as he can. I'll put this picture at the end of our like carousel slideshow
Yes.
for our
Because there is
Thank
no
you.
way I'm escaping without this.
Yeah, he looks important.
Forget any relationship, close relationship. It's the ice cream.
I need my ice cream
You
maker.
know, it's Cloud City. Whipped sugary cream
Yeah,
is probably like
probably
very
is a
important-
delicacy.
Yeah, it's an important cultural standard.
oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome.
Uh, where do we go?
So many possible titles
It's
for
cheaper
this
to make
episode.
things.
Yeah, I finished a beanbag chair, so
Okay.
That's a huge. That's like 3 projects in one.
I cut into my next compatriot.
Oh, that's all right.
by sharing about the beanbag chair because it
It's
did
okay. I
turn
only
out
finished one small thing.
pretty
so.
dang good.
I think I'm gonna
You
call
got
this
stuff.
episode "Beanbag Chairs and Ruffly Curtains."
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta write that down before I forget.
No, you gotta
Or-
take the
well-
spark of genius when it comes.
If you look at our episode titles, you can tell pretty easily the ones where I remember to write something down mid-recording, and the ones later on where I'm like, "Oh crud, what did we
was
talk
good?
about?"
What was good that time?
Well, I was like, just like snacks in your pocket. There's
oh,
a title.
that was good.
Or there was another one where we were all thinking about the same thing.
Tin can knits.
No, it was before
No?
that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Katie, because Katie was saying, "Oh yeah, I was looking that up myself." Oh well, that's how important it is.
Oh, the
so-
area.
To the volume
the
of a
volume.
cylinder.
Volume of a cylinder.
Yeah.
Calculating the volume of a
Where's
cylinder.
my
I don't
volume?
know how many hits we would get on
Where's
an
my volume?
episode titled "Calculating the Volume of a Cylinder." So I'll
No,
give
you
something
say-
a little more.
Maybe
Exciting.
we
Where's
attract
my
a different
Where's
crowd.
my volume?
New listeners?
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, I'd like to learn some math today."
Like,
I'll listen to
there
this
was
hour and
no
a half
math.
long episode about how to calculate the volume of a cylinder.
How
Look,
disappointing
look.
for you if you came here for that.
If Fun with Flags could get your attention on the
Oh
Big
my
Bang
God.
Theory, and it did, then yeah, we got lots of possibilities.
Oh my gosh.
What'd you finish?
What did I finish?
Yeah. Segue.
I made another pattern from Center Street Quilts because I like all of her patterns.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Bristol bag,
Oh, all right.
which
Pretty
is
fabric.
It was fun. It wasn't my favorite pattern of theirs that I've made. I don't know if I'll make another one, but it was a fun construction. It's got like a, what do you call it? Like an inset kind of zipper. It's got a little cute little contrasty
It's fun
boxy
that
bottom.
that's on the outside instead of just in the inside.
Yeah, it was fun. It's not, I'm not dying to make more of them. Also, there's a lot of her patterns. There are a lot of layers to sew through, and one of my sewing machines does it like no problem. The other one, which happens to be the one I have at home, likes to fight me when I'm going through lots of layers of foam. So it was a bit of a struggle on that, but it was cute. So I made that. I made, surprise every time we record an episode, I've made more Holland bags because that is my favorite pattern from her. I made one for,
Dang cute.
yes, I made one for one of my D&D friends because he has a lot of dice, and I was like, your bag isn't big enough, and he's like, no, I need to get a bigger one, and I was like, don't say that.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time I saw him, I went to Joann's and I found this dragon fabric.
Dragons.
So there's
Oh,
I'll-
that's adorable.
yeah, I'll find a better picture where you can see, but it's got like a navy background with all these cute little
Ooh.
dragons and kind of like a galaxy rainbowy kind of print.
Does he crochet? Because it looks like there's a crochet hook. in
No, it's
You're testing it to make sure it.
no, this is
No.
shout out to Michael because he was MVP because I gave this to him before I remembered to take a picture. So I texted him yesterday. I was like, "Can you please take a picture of your bag for me and send it to me?" But it's I found these little lightning bolt zipper pulls.
Uh-huh.
So it's got a little, I'll zoom in, but a little metal lightning bolt
Oh, those are
zipper pull
nice.
on
Adorable.
the zipper, and it fits a bunch of stuff, and he was very excited about it. So I made that for him.
There was no explanation of the crochet.
Oh
hook
no,
in that
it's not.
story.
Okay, this is a longer story, but when you're playing D&D, you have your little miniature, right? That you're on
Yes.
on the table
Yeah.
for your tabletop
Yeah.
game, and like some sort of board or grid or whatever map. And we play it like a big dining room table, and so we're always like reaching, and we were like joking, we need one of those little rods like they have in like the war room where they
Yes.
move their little like guys around,
Yeah.
which they're called plotting rods. I figured out when we were
wow.
Googling it. He found a 5-pack on Amazon of back scratchers,
Ah!
and they're perfect. So everybody got one.
That is not a crochet hook.
No, it's not.
Do you
It's
know
a
what I
back
have in my
scratcher.
purse right here? With my crochet hook?
What? A back scratcher?
Back scratcher.
Yeah, exactly. They
my
make
gosh.
great little pushers for your game pieces. So it's a back scratcher.
I'm
in this
protecting mine
picture.
from my children.
There you go.
Yeah, and if I hadn't ordered 2, I'd be protecting it from my husband. But apparently, my plan was to put one in my office and one that I kept at home by my Z,
Oh my gosh.
which I would have shared that one, I guess.
I
But
guess.
when I was opening my bag of stuff, Kevin's like, "Are there 2?"
Nope.
I don't know. He's like, "How do you not know?" Like, I don't remember.
I don't know what I ordered. I'm sorry.
There were 2, thankfully.
So that's the dragon bag, and then my brother one of his hobbies is painting miniatures, and he's very good at it. And so he's painting a miniature for me for a new character. And so as a thank you, I made him also a bag. So this is
That's neat.
for Scott. It's got like sort of Japanese
Yeah,
tea
tea
service
and
and
sake.
yeah.
It's got the
Um,
matcha whisk.
Yeah, and like
all the different drinks.
I have one of those in my office.
so I picked out that fabric for him with the help of his wife.
I like that.
And
Oh, I like the plain fabric too because it's got a little speckle on it.
yeah, I think it's an Essex, like a speckly Essex linen.
I like
Um,
Essex so much.
Yeah, and then I think it's just plain, navy blue on the inside, but another Holland pouch. This pouch the universe didn't want me to make this today because I am going to see Scott tomorrow, and when I had this idea, it was yesterday to make him this project. And I was like, okay, the only time I really have to make it would be Thursday morning. I don't have anything to do. I'll stay home because all my stuff is at home. I'll come in later to work and I'll make the bag in the morning. So on Wednesday when I was at Super Buzzy, I bought the fabric and then I promptly left it at Super Buzzy when I left for the day. I was like, well, crud. I guess I'll make it at my studio. So I went in early. I picked up my bag of fabric that I forgot. I came to the studio and I started to sew, and literally all of my zippers were at home. And I was like, crap. I was like, well, now what am I going to do? So I found a half-finished bag that I had no intention of finishing, and I ripped the zipper out of it, which actually worked out well because the gray kind of matched
Yeah, it
relatively
works
well.
Great.
It looks like I did it on purpose.
Right, I would never
So-
guess.
Yeah.
In future, you could not have messaged me because I was in the bowels of the building.
But she would have
But-
been willing to help.
But you can always raid my zipper stash.
Oh, yeah, I had like lace zippers in my studio, and I was like, I don't know if that's really the vibe.
Yeah.
I had some like vintage metal ones that I could have made work, and then I found this bag, and I was like, oh no, I'll just rip it out of that. So I ripped
Which is
the
probably
zipper
more
out of that.
satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not satisfying.
But I got it done. So universe, you didn't stop me there.
Nice try.
Yeah, nice try.
Not today.
So I don't know what he'll use it for, but it's a present, so he can put whatever he wants to in it. And then my big finish this month is my backpack. This is the violet.
Ooh, I love
backpack.
the quilting.
Cute.
This is the violet backpack is the pattern. I changed up a couple things on it because the original pattern has like main fabric, accent fabric. I made the whole entire outside the same because I wanted it to look a little bit more. I think a lot of sewers and quilters tend to make very quilty, sewy kind of accessories, which are very fun.
Yeah.
But I wanted something that wasn't going to look like
more
something I could have bought at the store, right?
Yeah.
Like a little bit more basic every day. So the fabric on the outside is a twill. I think it's called workshop twill, in a kind of a caramely kind of color. And the lining is where the fun part is because I used the little rainbow starry print, which was very fun. And
It's
then
just kind of nice to have a nice surprise on the inside.
yeah, a nice fun lining.
Do you have is that like an coordinating little
It's like you have an
pouch?
inner
Oh
secret.
yes, I had leftovers, so I made a little.
That's your pattern, right?
No,
No.
this is a Svetlana Sotek pattern that I don't remember the name of, but I made that with the leftovers for stuff in my bag.
Cute.
Yeah, and the original pattern has you cover the webbing and like I just used the natural webbing, but you could see where I didn't do such a great job attaching it on the side there, so I have to rip it open and fix it. and it's doing it on both sides.
Oh.
I know. I don't know how that happened because I sewed through that side about 8
million
times with all the
times.
layers and everything.
When you
So
go
I gotta
back,
go.
what if you just covered that with the main fabric?
I could.
To reinforce it.
Yeah, I could do that. I just
Because
have
I
to...
think the webbing looks great.
No, I really like the webbing. I
Yeah.
think I just need to tuck it in farther
Mhm.
into the bag and re-sew it, but I have to unpick the binding and the stitching
Oh.
and things that I don't want to do. So I'm just going to wait until it falls apart and then I'm
Yeah,
going to fix it.
Or make another.
No, I don't want to make
No,
another one. This
okay.
was a pain in the butt.
All right.
The pattern was great, like well written, but it's a small piece and you're doing binding and curved edges and it just wasn't that fun to make.
Sometimes the smaller pieces, the smaller projects can
Yeah.
be the more difficult.
I think a
That's-
lot of beginner sewers are apt to be like, I'm going to make like doll clothes or something.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
That's why
no.
my mom said no doll clothes.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that you'll just be
Big
sad and
projects.
frustrated.
Yeah.
Make
Give
yourself
yourself-
a skirt.
It is hard.
You know, having long, straight, simple seams is very relaxing.
Yeah.
Can I for your curve seams, can I recommend a 4 foot diameter
4 foot.
4 foot? Yeah, 48
Oh.
inches
What?
diameter.
Oh, like a
beanbag.
skirt. Oh, a beanbag. Yeah, that would work. That would be a lot easier.
It's practically a straight edge.
Not like an inch and a half tiny little
No,
curve
no.
with over 2 pieces of foam interfacing and
No.
8 layers of fabric.
Yeah, not that.
No, not as fun.
And it was stretchy, so it was very forgiving.
Ay. Yeah, that's what I finished this
Nice.
month. A couple of bags.
Pretty good.
Well, I'll bring it home with my one finished project.
Woohoo!
Yay!
But it was very satisfying. So you know, I did the make your own mystery doodle
Uh-huh.
cowl, and I thought, well, you know, I'd like to do. I also, because it's your own mystery. Besides the cowl, you can make a hat, or you could make. There's something. I think socks. Those are gonna have to wait. But the hat I could do, and I finally found a purpose for some stash, and so I pulled together my little card deck of the spring stuff because we're going into February, and
Which is still deep winter in most
Yeah.
places.
yes,
It's almost spring here.
Yeah.
it's almost spring here, but
I'm like, it's practically May in my head. I
so-
don't know why.
I made use of some stash. I'm repurposing
Ooh.
this stroll tweed in Dove Heather, and that yarn that we got. Remember all those years ago when we went up to Stitches?
Yes.
And I'm repurposing
Oh,
that.
lovely.
Oh yeah, I think we
Yeah.
talked about this because I remember that yarn.
Oh my gosh, this is so cute.
And so I grabbed a different. Here we go.
oh,
it's
it goes with
cute.
your outfit.
Oh, it does. But I can't wear this at work.
No.
No. So each one of these is just a different card. I flipped a card and picked different cards each time. Some of these I like that. Like this gave me the option of having a dark back. This top one is a dark background of hearts with a dark background with the hearts being the lighter color in the gray tweed. But at the towards the bottom, I have a light tweed background and the dark. This is almost like a what do you call it? Like a cranberry with a black, with like a black fuzz over it type of color. It's a very
The
rich
halo
color.
is
The halo.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
very pretty.
So I finished a hat.
That is so
Nice.
cute,
Cute
Karin.
hat.
Oh, I love it.
It was nice because it's a small project, and I did
hats.
not work at all on this. I took it multiple times and pulled it out, and by the time I was ready to actually do something on it, break was over.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, first thing you gotta change. You asked me for advice in office work. First thing you gotta change is you gotta go to the bathroom
on their
on their dime.
Yeah, not on your break.
no, okay.
Yeah. No.
Even if
So
it's
many
even if
things.
it's your paid 15-minute break, it's still your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can pee on company
I
time.
mean, I do because multiple times.
You
'Cause I
gotta.
drink because I have my big. I guess there's a water culture. Have you guys heard of water talk?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
Well, I have now because
that
you told
is
me about
like
it last
super
week.
fun just to watch them. I'm not going to participate, but I'm like, there's like a whole subculture of people that are crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like
People that are crazy is accurate.
I'm like when you add that much stuff to it, it's not water.
No,
Well,
It's basically it's grown up Kool-Aid.
Water is
It's
a
Kool-Aid for-
good solvent.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, their whole recipes. I'm like, okay, that is just like a whole other culture. But
That's beautiful.
going back to the
Cute
hat. I like she gives you lots of different options, but one of my favorites is this brim that you fold
Always
over.
love that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like it because it
So cushy.
yeah, it's just I like that squishy feel. So it has been blocked.
So do you do a provisional cast on and then open it? And
That would have been great.
Mm.
I did not think about that
Mm.
when I first cast on,
Mhm.
but then partway through, I'm like, oh, I want a different kind of brim. I don't want just one ribbing, and so I did pick up and attach it as I went before I went on,
Mhm.
rather than sew it afterwards because I don't want to sew it afterwards.
No,
I
that's
want to
not
get through
happening.
and then you had options on the decreases. You could do a spiral, or you could do that more square. And of course, after for the spiral, but
Spiral's classic.
I love this lighting because I can really see this black halo.
Mm-hmm.
You want a picture of your halo? No, do it the horizontal way. You can see the
fuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got good fuzz.
I'll text it to you.
Anyway,
Nice.
I got
That's an
something
accomplishment.
done. Yeah.
It's a great hat.
Um,
Yeah, working full time takes stamina.
I realize I haven't been in an office situation particularly in a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, anybody have anything they're excited to share about?
I want to go last.
Okay.
I know I've been going first, but I'm gonna disrupt things.
Okay.
What are you obsessed with?
I have two. Have y'all seen the cute girl that's doing the cross stitch mural on Instagram?
Yes.
She's her Instagram handle is Morgan Zuh makes. Morgan Zuh makes. I don't know if that's how she intends that you say it, but she's painting an adorable mural in her baby's room using a cross stitch pattern, and it's like it reminds me of like Beatrice Potter. It's got like little bunnies and swans. It's very much like what my bedroom looked like when I was a baby.
Aww.
It's so cute. So check it out. I don't think she has quite finished it. I think the last update she was just getting ready to add like the outline stitching, like the black outlines.
The thing that stresses me out the most in actual cross.
Yes.
So if I'm understanding, she's doing this mural, but she's painting little X's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she blew up the pattern and like drew a grid on the wall in pencil marks and is doing X's in paint to make it look like a cross stitch pattern.
That is
it's
so
adorable.
cool.
It looks like a crap ton of work, but it's so cute.
Yes.
Um,
But when I thought that, because I thought very similarly, I was like,
Mhm.
how is it any more frivolous than actual cross?
no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm like deep in cross stitch right now.
There's a lot more cleanup involved.
True.
You know, paint is
True.
messy.
True. But like cross stitch is frivolous.
Yes, it very much is.
Which is maybe why I love it so much right now.
Yeah, it's just a fun little thing to do.
Mhm.
I was just thinking about cross stitch and diamond painting, and what if you did like a diamond painted mural on your wall? That would take years.
And
it would never get clean, but
it'd be insane.
You're blinded. Oh my god.
The sun. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. And
Yeah,
the
exactly
sun
like that.
The sun hits a certain place and
Yeah.
illuminates it, and a beam goes.
Those extra like shiny, what do they call them? They have like the regular.
Diamante.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to wait for the lighting to go that way, you just use your little cat laser pointer.
What happened to the cat paw laser print?
I gave it to Karin.
Okay.
Somebody donated or
Okay.
it ended up in a bag, a cat laser
Yeah, if
pointer.
you're missing that, Karen.
So the funny part about that is that I had to be really careful because the cat has had an upset stomach lately, so I can't. So all I did is point to the ground and let it be still, and he was already freaking himself out. And then I went upstairs and I pointed it at my child. He kept batting at himself, batting at herself to it on the floor and on the ground. I'm like, you're like a great giant cat.
I like
was
the
awesome.
laser pointer's fun, but I feel like it stresses my cat out. Like
Aw.
she doesn't play as hard with anything else, and she really likes to play. So we play like what's under the blanket, which like you stick your hand under the blanket, you wiggle it around, and
I love
that's
that
fun.
game.
but like she is like focused when there's a laser pointer, and then when you're done, she like can't stop because she's like still looking for it. And I'm like, I think this is just stressing you out. I don't think we need to play laser pointer anymore.
Aw.
We have to be careful because our cat will work himself up till he's sick
Oh.
because he will just get so excited.
Yeah.
So
So
so-
my other thing I'm excited about is I have been trying to balance my time between working on my cross stitch project, or sewing, or knitting, or playing video games.
Get out of my life.
Yeah.
Except video games are never a problem.
So I'm playing Baldur's Gate, and I'm Baldur's Gate 3, which I kept seeing videos of on Instagram, and I was like, I really want to play this game.
I hear it's gorgeous.
It is. It's incredible.
And
like
you could live in that game.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I recently acquired an Xbox in order to be able to play this game because I didn't have a system I could play it on. So I'm like all into it, but I feel like I have zero time to do anything, and then at the end of the night, like, we have the big TV that I want to play it on, but James doesn't want to watch me play video games, right? Which I'm like, well, what the heck? I watch you play video games sometimes.
What about all the girls from the late 90s and early 2000s?
Like, you don't want to sit by me while I play video games.
I told my daughter, like, don't be that girl.
No.
You either play with them or you find something else to do.
You know what's great is James will play, like, Pokemon or something, and I can knit while he does that. Yeah. And I don't care that much.
Yes.
You know, but he doesn't just... He's not doing anything, right? He's just sitting and watching me play video games.
How does he feel about learning cross stitch?
I'm like, you could do something with your hands.
Yeah, low entry.
You know what was working great is he had a Lego set to build, and that was perfect. But you know, Lego sets only last so long,
and it's not financially sustainable.
No, I could smash his DeLorean and make him build it again. No, I couldn't. He would be very mad.
Do you want someone to break in and do it?
No, please no. I think that might be his final straw. No, so I've been trying to find time to get my 3 rows of my sweater done a day, so I also can play video games. But yeah, it's a beautiful game. I don't think I've ever played a quote adult video game before, because I'm over here playing like Animal Crossing and Pokemon, and there's like naked people in this game. And I'm like, oh my god! And it's I didn't sign up for that, but they have the option to like turn on or off nudity. I'm like, okay, I kind of appreciate that because I didn't know what I was getting into here. But it is a beautiful game. It's very fun to play. But
how lovely.
Yeah, I just don't have time.
Are you a Legends of Zelda person then, do you think?
Yes, I have played Ocarina of Time. I just recently, I haven't finished it. I'm very close to finishing Majora's Mask, and then for Christmas, James got me Breath of the Wild, I think is what it is, and Tears of the Kingdom, which I started Breath of the Wild, but then got distracted when I started playing Baldur's Gate.
Also,
did you play Wind Waker?
Beautiful.
I played Wind Waker.
Do it, guys.
Majora's Mask, was that the one where you go forward and back and forward and back? And
yeah,
that one, I got.
That's my favorite.
I got pretty far and I like it, but it took a while for me to get the, oh, you didn't get this, now you're messed up. Nope, you just keep working hard, and then eventually you get the thing that lets you go back to do the thing you missed.
That's like the hardest one, and it's so fun to play because that's the one I played when I had my N64 and my 13-inch screen TV, and I would play in my bedroom. And we have our big TV in our like TV room, and then in our bedroom we have a small TV. It's like 21 inches, it's not very big, and it's kind of like in a far corner. And James is like, you should set your Xbox up in the bedroom so you can play in there. And I'm like, I'm not playing on the tiny TV. Like, I didn't spend all this money to look at this beautiful video game on the tiny TV. I want to play on the 50 whatever inch TV.
So, are there games that he would be okay playing on a tiny TV?
No, he just wants access to the TV. And so he can watch movies or whatever.
Those are single...
It's called sharing.
So I think there is a multiplayer option. We haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Well, you're also not ready to share yet, maybe.
No, I want him to play because I'm bad at video games. Like, it's not one of my things that I am good at. And James would be very helpful if he would sit and watch me and help me play. But I don't blame him for not wanting to do that.
He can do the parts that are harder to do.
No, I just need... Because it's a Dungeons & Dragons based video game. Okay. So he knows how the game works a lot better than I do, like the base tabletop game. So I'm doing my best, but I'm like, I just need you to explain to me what this means or whatever. And it basically is like equivalent in the video game.
Greater scheme of things.
Yes. And one of my D&D friends is also starting the game, and so we were comparing notes, but he is very good at video games, and I'm like, he's like, oh, we should, be Xbox friends and play together. I'm like, I think you would probably kick my butt real easy, but maybe you'd be on my team, it would be better for us. But
you might be surprised.
I don't know.
I didn't build any video game skills as a kid because we didn't have a system at home, and it just wasn't my thing. Yeah, I had my brother's hand-me-down N64 for a long time.
And then we had a Nintendo Wii. And that was, my sister and I played that all the time. And I had an Xbox, I think, at one point. We played a lot of Xbox games when I was like in college with our friends, but it had been a long time since I had like properly played a video game until I like COVID-ish. And then James has a Nintendo Switch and we played Pokemon and all kinds of fun stuff. So
What is the game system? It's not Xbox, but
a
it
PlayStation,
isn't in a square silvery box. Was it a Sega
a
of some sort?
GameCube.
GameCube.
No, it wasn't silver though. There was
Like
also
black
Sega.
and green
Ours was
and-
silver.
It could be.
Or white. Maybe it
I
was
feel
white,
like
and over time it
GameCubes were
just-
purple.
I have no
I don't know.
idea.
My
Well,
GameCube was purple.
There
I had a
you go.
GameCube too. I just remembered that.
Yeah. When the kids
Nintendo.
were little, we would try to play those one-player type games like Lord of the Rings, and where you played, and then when the player died, then it was somebody else's turn. But for some of us, we got like some people, not me, would get like 20, 30, 40 minutes worth of play, and then they die, and then it was the next person's turn, and they'd get like 3 minutes. Boom, dead. Okay, now you get to wait while it cycles through. I walked away from that. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good system.
Not a
so I
democratic,
waited until the kids went to bed, and I made up my own. In which case, I didn't really get a lot of sleep. And like, why are you tired, hon? Oh, I might have gone to bed at 3.
I saw the funniest reel today of a library, the Vancouver Library, I think it was, and it was 4 librarians acting out Alexis coming in from like a rough night, and it was the caption was, when you stayed up all night reading and had no respect for the next work day. And all the librarians are like, oh, you look a little rough. You're fooling everyone. It's very funny. I'm sorry. They were play acting. And when I say Alexis, they were doing the Rose family having having an interaction from Schitt's Creek. It was very, very cute.
Karin, do you have anything you are excited about recently?
I have been in just election work land, and I'm excited that I haven't had to make dinner for the last couple of weeks because
That's nice.
on the downside, my husband. I mean, on the upside, my husband's making dinner every night, and now he is tired because it's like you have to make food for everybody every day. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, you didn't have to do it like 6 days a week. I go, when they were little, yeah, I did it 7 days a week.
Right.
But thank you. But otherwise, because the first week I was working at the government center, I get off at 4:30. By the time you get through traffic and you get home, and now you're making dinner, and I'm like, why am I making dinner? My husband's home. He could be doing this.
Yep.
The downside is he's at home because he got laid off a week after I started work. But he's got some good possibilities happening. So, and then I'll have to start working on
dinner
making
duty again.
Dinner duty again. It's like, I know. My mother-in-law keeps saying, well, what are we going to have? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not the one making dinner. Well, how are we going to... Because at first we were like going home, making dinner, cleaning up dinner, then going to the grocery store. I'm like, no. This is not working. It's not working.
We shop 2 weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can institute something that I started to get really mad because I always dish everybody up for dinner, or like make sure everybody's served and then serve myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's always how I've done it. And so then when Kevin and I started sharing more dinner duty, I would dish everybody up and make sure everybody had their plate, and then dish myself up. But Kevin would dish himself up on nights he cooked and then sit down and start eating.
What about the rest of us?
Well, and so I really got frustrated with that, and I'm like, the cook needs to serve the other person. Whoever cooked dinner needs to serve everyone. And you still feel pretty good. Like it kind of balances out that you have to cook some nights
with being served,
with someone just serving you dinner. It's nice.
I did have a few nights where I did not have food that I could eat because my family's not used to cooking gluten-free meals for me. I'm like, okay, I've been gluten-free for 15 years. At some point, why is this surprising you that you might have to think about this? But they're learning. Yeah. So also they felt really guilty the time because it just happened to be on a day where I had a really, really bad day. And I came home and there was no food and I just went to bed. Aww. And they were very good after that.
Good. I mean, it's still better not have to make everybody dinner. even if you have to make
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
something.
Yeah, there was that.
What
So
do you got, Ann?
you're obsessed with not having to make dinner. I like that.
Yes.
I'm also always obsessed with that. We were James. My parents were gone this last weekend, and James likes to like cook something exciting for himself if he's home alone. And he's always wanting to make something that I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'll eat chicken nuggets. Like, make whatever you want. I'll figure out something from the fridge or freezer. And he wanted to make lobster thermidor. And I was like, cool, go for it, man. It's like the most vintage dish. You like take your lobster out of the shell and you like, it's got like a breadcrumb topping and you put it back in, you stick it in the oven.
Kevin's made me that. It's good.
Yeah. I'm not a huge lobster person, so I got some shrimp and he like cooked some noodles and I had a delicious shrimpy pasta thing. So he made 2 beautiful dishes. And then the next night I was like, oh, I'll make dinner. Which was a burnt frozen pizza. I didn't burn it on purpose, but I was like, hey, I found a frozen pizza. What about that for dinner? He's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. We were like doing other things in the day. And I was like, okay, cool. So I stick it in the oven. My timer goes off. I go downstairs and I'm like, how do you mess up a frozen pizza? It says on the thing, 425 for 14 minutes. It's exactly what I did. Burnt. Like, I'm sorry.
Your oven is not honest with
Like,
you.
It's not you.
I'm not,
It
you know,
wasn't
familiar with it like James is. Oh my God. Yeah.
You don't quite know the ropes.
I don't. No, I felt bad. I was like, sorry.
I have this wonderful thing that I bought for Kevin, and now I'm using it because Kevin fasts in the morning. It's a Hamilton Beach breakfast sandwich maker.
Oh, I've seen that thing.
That
It's
sounds cool.
Fantastic. It is
I love a breakfast sandwich.
4.5 minutes of cook time. It takes about 3 minutes to assemble your 2 sandwiches. So it goes English muffin. If you want to put meat, then you close a little layer over that, and that's where you break your egg in. Then you can put cheese, and then you put your top English muffin in. Then you cook it for 4.5 minutes, and you have 2 egg McMuffin, better than egg McMuffin quality breakfast sandwiches. But you would think, from what I described, it's super easy. And it is once you get the hang. But you actually have to get the hang.
Gotta get to know it a little bit first.
A little bit of learning curve.
Yeah, well, just a little. Because, like, you need to spray the egg part.
Yeah.
Oh, stuck egg.
Yeah.
Not fun.
But you only need to spray it, because I'll make Dante a set and myself a set. You only need to spray it for the first set.
Oh, that's good.
But my daughter hasn't officially received a lesson, I think. Because every time I go to use it after her, it's kind of a mess. But if you do it with all the right steps, it comes out clean and perfect, and you walk out the door with your 2 sandwiches.
Nice.
It's pretty great. Yeah.
I have like hyperfixation breakfast where I only ever eat the same thing for like 6 months. And then I'm like
off of my breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah,
already.
and now I'm like, I hate this thing. Now I'm on bagels or whatever. And there was a good 6 months to a year where it was breakfast sandwiches. And I had like these little ring forms that you crack your egg into in the pan to like make a little round egg. And
that's what the egg thing is like.
Yeah,
on that egg layer.
That's back when she still does, but she was making sourdough all the time. Ooh. So it was like a slice of sourdough, a little egg, some cheese, like a little open faced breakfasty sandwich thing. I should get back to that.
That sounds good.
I'm on cereal right now.
That's fair. Okay.
I want to put in an order and say, instead of making dinner, what if you got up and made me breakfast so I could have avocado toast of various kinds? Because on Mondays we have sesame seeds. On Tuesdays we have 21 Season Salute, and some has thin slices of ham, or a thin slice of tomato and some fresh basil, like a caprese avocado toast. I could get so there's water talk. There must be avocado toast talk.
Oh, sure.
I just like avocado talk. Like I like that idea.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt to put in the request. You might be surprised.
Hey, what if you could do both things, son?
You could be my private chef. I don't think he wants to do that.
Kevin's love language is cooking for people, so I have learned to not have any guilt about
that's
making
great.
Requests.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anne?
All right. My obsession is like overreaching my cross stitch ability. So long dog samplers.
Okay.
Because I found this like sparkly Ada cloth that's like a white with like a little iridescent sparkle to it.
Ooh.
And then the color, DMC color 820, is this my perfect royal blue.
Mm.
It's so beautiful. So I want to do like a monochromatic. So I started Googling that, and I came across a couple of designers that I can't get over.
Mm-hmm.
First one is Long Dog Samplers,
Mm-hmm.
and she does like modern takes on classic styles, let's say. Because like to me, some of these classic things are just kind of imitating the old, and they're not
Right.
bringing anything
Mhm.
fresh. She has an image that is Ragnarok.
Oh.
Ooh.
She has there's one that keeps coming up when I Google her with like a big picture of a whale on it.
Mm.
She has these ones called the I have to find it.
I love the idea of a monochromatic cross stitch. That sounds
So stress free.
yeah.
Yeah. She has this
So you're talking about,
one.
like, it was like a black line, or is it just,
Or just-
shades
well,
of gray
blue
or
and-
shades of blue,
Or just one color.
all one color. Like, so here's something that looks almost like a Scrabble or
Oh,
crossword.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
called crossword. And
I
she's
think of,
been
like-
designing since
like-
the late 90s.
It makes me think of like Dutch china, you know, like
yeah,
the black and white.
yeah,
kind
like
of.
Yeah.
Delft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Spirit of Lawnfair.
Don't know what that means.
And it's I looked it up.
Oh,
okay.
it's like the
This
red.
it's all spoons. So if you look, you can see they're all spoons.
Oh, yeah.
And I forget, it says in the description, but
That's
some
cool.
culture, like, they carve spoons for their beloved.
Oh,
And
yeah.
these are all
Yeah,
love spoons.
That's
It's
cute.
the island of Anglesey.
Can you say that village name?
No.
Can you say that village name?
Janfair.
No.
Look at it in bold.
Oh, in bold.
Yeah, I said Janfair also.
It's about 50 characters long.
Janfair Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I made that one up.
These beautiful spoons were carved by young men as a token of love for their intended, hence the recurrent heart and horseshoe symbols incorporated into the designs. So she has like a lot of really cool, novel things. Queen of Hearts.
Mm.
Oh, that's really pretty. It's got a very vintagey.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's one that's a bunch of locks and it'd be like that famous
Oh, like
bridge.
Ooh, I mean,
Yeah,
you
of
could
just
design
locks.
that one. And some of these are very large and some of them are reasonable. Like the Queen of Hearts I considered as my monochromatic because it's already done in blue and white. And it's, if I recall, it'll fit on a 15 by 18 piece of Ada
Oof.
cloth. So it'd be a big project for me, but it's small
It's very cool.
compared to her. So Long Dog Sampler, she's been around since the late 90s. And then the other one of our fellow knitters, Deborah, turned me on to because she's getting ready to do a stitch along with them. And I want to check back in with her if it's this gentleman does a new stitch along every year. This is this year's stitch along.
Whoa.
Isn't it gorgeous? It's an image of a
Wow,
clock
there's
face.
So much detail.
That's
It
super
feels
cool.
kind of
I
like
wanna make it a real-
Germanic.
I want to put
cuckoo
a real
clock.
I want to put real clock fixings behind
That
it.
would be wonderful. And he shows it in several different color arrangements. Like there's one that's like gold and a periwinkle blue kind of, which I think I found most appealing. So I don't know if she's getting
That's
ready to do
real
this
cool.
one or if there's another like challenge out there in the cross stitch world to just pick one of his things and do it.
And what was the name of that designer?
This is modern folk embroidery, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah, modern folk embroidery. So I am very obsessed with these two designers. Mirabella like caught me on the couch dozing. And she's like, "You were already scrolling so early this morning on your Instagram." I'm like, "No, I was scrolling these people's designs and daydreaming about these kind of ambitious cross stitches."
It's very cool.
Um,
This one's called Death by Cross Stitch.
which one's that one?
I don't know, but it looks
Oh yeah,
huge.
it's intense.
It
yeah,
looks huge.
I
Oh,
feel like she has
wow.
a section called Piccadillys or something like
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
And there were several in there that I really like. Like she designed with kind of a cheeky theme, but they look
Oh, cute.
they look classical.
Very traditional.
So I'm also considering one of those as my
That would be very cool.
use of those two supplies I talked about because they would fit on the Ada cloth. It's a pre-cut piece already. But yeah, it'll. Even one of her small things would be a big undertaking for me. And then Lola Crow. Have you guys seen Lola Crow?
I don't know.
She is a very back to my usual vibe, a little cuter, like our classic favorite, Frosted Pumpkin.
Uh-huh.
But it's all kind of creepy.
Okay.
Oh, there's someone I follow that has that where it's got like a little creepiness to it.
Like the first thing that came up on her page is love crows, and it's 2 crows and hearts for a Valentine theme.
Cute.
Here's one that's UFO abducting a heart.
Well, I like that.
So
It's like love subversive.
yeah, she has some very detailed, cool things too, but her style's a little bit more approachable for most of her patterns. Back to the like ornament size project.
Yeah.
So those are the things I am obsessed with.
Those are cool. Yeah, I'm going to be
Those are
scrolling
looking-
this. This is awesome.
Yeah, those first 2 are
Yeah.
quite cool.
Yeah. That is a lot. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next month, and if you want to read along with us for our book club, we are reading What You Were Looking For Is in the Library, and I can't remember the name of the author off the top of my head. And
I think it's the only book called that.
just Google it.
In a simple library.
Yeah. And we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.